From the Kaya, and you are watching Bridging the Gap. We're hanging out in the beautiful downtown Wilmington at the Real Cafe with the incredible Vana Liya, who honestly does not even need an introduction because her music speaks for itself. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful on this beautiful day.
Yes, honestly, I feel like the good weather came out for your little ball of sunshine.
And we actually left New York when it was downpouring, so we just missed a storm. So.
Wow. You were like, you know what? I gotta go.
I looked at my fake watch and I was like, let's get out of here.
You know what? It's usually raining here, I feel like, that whenever we're at the Real Cafe, so this is actually a change of pace.
Oh, cool.
You literally brought the sunshine to us.
I mean, like, it's a little cloudy. We'll get a couple rays, we'll see.
Yeah, we get it. You know, it gives a little bit more, light. It reflects off. It's a beautiful, reflection that comes off the river as well. Well, thank you for being here and talking with us. It has honestly been a long time coming. I've been very excited. I've wanted to be able to be at the right place at the right time and get to talk to you. You're one of our fourth ladies on the show.
Woo, go girls.
And I love it so much. I think we might be the same height too. So I'm just saying, like 5'2".
Oh my God, I'm like 5'2". I always say 5'2.5" because I feel like the half matters.
I say 5'2 3/4". But I'm very certain that is a lie. I round up.
Well, I say 5'2.5" because if you're that short, I feel like the half matters.
It actually does.
I feel like I try to talk to like the DMV and be like, yo, you sure you don't want to bump it up to 5'3"? Maybe?
No, they knocked me down. I tried that on the lady too, and she was just like,
maybe I should just take what I have and roll with it. I don't want to knock me down to like 5'1".
Right now, they start to get a little petty. I mean, well, let's just go ahead and introduce you to any of the Kaya fam who maybe has never heard of Vana Liya. We want to be the exclusive look into anything and everything that you guys got going on. But I want to start with the beginning. How'd you grow up? What was your introduction into, music and different influences, that kind of carried you while you've grown up?
So, my upbringing, it was actually I feel like so different from everybody else who's a musician. Usually everybody's like, my mom and dad were in a band and everybody sings, and I just kind of came out of left field. Everybody has office jobs and very corporate. My mom wanted one of us to go become a doctor and stuff that. So it's very strict Caribbean household. My parents came to the States when they were 18, 19, so they were fairly young. So that's where I got the reggae influence from, being from the Caribbean household. But I guess in terms of childhood, we didn't really have I don't think there was anybody's particular that my mom really was really about. It was just kind of old school soca, calypso. My grandma used to live with us too, so we used to listen to all the older stuff, stuff that came out in the 30s and stuff like that. And that's kind of where my upbringing was. And then I kind of when you go to school here, it's a little bit more westernized, so then I started getting into punk and stuff like that, and then that's when I got introduced to Sublime, and I was the two favorite things I love, reggae and punk put together.
And the beautiful progression, of, I feel what has become a really nice blend of genre, that I feel you carry. You have such a soulful voice, and the melodies that you kind of come, they're feel good, riffs, but you're able to, kind of capture those reggae roots, but with a little pop, keeping you jumpy and, dancing around. And then punk. You got a punk side, which honestly I love so very much. I never thought I could love, a Blink-182 song on a ukulele, but you did it and you killed it.
Thank you.
Going through it, I feel everyone kind of feels the same, on YouTube and everything, all the comments are just wow, that voice. And that is really what it is. I mean, I remember seeing your videos. We see a bunch of videos scrolling every day, and certain ones catch your eye or your ear, and yours was one of them.
Thank you.
Your cool bedroom setup that you had. It was just such a note. You're scrolling, you see that, and you just see the posters in the back. You're just oh, hold up, I gotta see what this new cover is real quick. So I have been a fan.
Thank you.
I know. I'm trying not to, blush real quick.
Well, I was doing covers for a while, and then it just got to the point where like the bedroom setup was like such a staple that I was like, I was gonna move to like a backdrop and all this stuff, but I was like, what I'm doing right now is working because I feel like when people do covers, the reason why they don't get as noticed is because they're not making it different enough. And a lot of songs I cover are either not in the same genre or they're sung by a guy.
Right.
And I kind of, I like a lot of like acoustic indie music. I'm a huge City and Color fan, and like I feel like the way I decided to like start writing and stuff was just kind of merging those two, like putting the reggae together along with like my style, because like you have to see what works for your voice, you know, and I think that's what works.
I think so. I mean, it's such a unique sound, and I love that you play ukulele. I mean, it really just brings everything together in this like nice little, almost like lullaby style, but I still feel like when you're playing live shows, because you play, with bands now, and you've been touring with them, and I know that's probably a little bit different,
for sure,
but somehow you still capture that, like when you see you live, and watching like live videos of you playing, it still feels like you're that girl in the bedroom,
that's
just
awesome.
sitting there
that's
playing
great.
just to the camera, with just a little mic, and I think that's super cool, just to see that, sort of evolution of.
It's definitely been
Vana
a
Liya.
transition, like from like making like videos in your room. That's really where I came from. Was like Pepper saw a video of me playing in my room, so it's like, how do you jump from that to where you are now? And like, it started off where I was just playing solo acoustic, like sitting on a stool, just like me alone, and now it's like I'm with a band. So it's like, how do you get that stage presence? How do you start moving around? And I'm still learning, like I'm trying to get more involved. In some songs I don't play the ukulele, so I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah,
so it's like
that.
People, like, I feel like that's one comment they've made is they've seen the evolution, because like I kind of am like evolving in front of everybody, because I feel like I got put in front of everything before I was ready. Yeah. So now it's just like, hey, I got to figure this out, but you guys are going to come too.
Yeah. So it's kind of different, than how bands usually kind of start their quote journey into the music business.
I was very backwards.
It's working. It's working, and in my opinion, it almost is like a beautiful metamorphosis of the Vana Liya like butterfly.
Love it.
So I've loved seeing that, and you give such a sensory experience too. Like,
thank you.
And with all the artwork and stuff that you've been putting into some of the new releases that you've been putting out, it's really, really cool. I have a question.
Ooh, yeah.
The name Vana Liya. How did you like kind of settle on deciding that that's kind of how you wanted to be recognized as?
So that took me like a hot minute. I was talking to Law for like a while, and everything was ready to go, and they were like, you need to pick a name, because I was just going by my full name.
Yeah.
So originally I was just going to go by Vana, because my first name is Nirvana, for those people who don't know. And so I just was like, okay, Vana, but there's some girl in England, I think, that goes by Vana. So I was like,
okay,
all right. My game plan is I wanted to have something that when you type it into Google, I'm the only thing that possibly could like come up. And
something easy to remember, and fairly, just like sticks with you.
Exactly. Like sometimes, like if you like have a word and like the word is just spelled a little differently, sometimes that's not enough for people to like grab and find you on the internet. So I have a late grandmother, and sometimes I start thinking about, would she be proud of what I'm doing in this moment? And back in Guyana, they have like this thing called call names, which is not your actual name. It's just like this random name that like your family gives you, I guess.
Okay.
So my grandma used to call me Aaliyah all the time. So when I was like sitting there really trying to figure out, I thought like I hit a hole in the wall, and then I hear like Vana Liya in my head, and I was like, oh my God, that would be perfect. And then my first single came out on my late grandfather's birthday. So for me, I felt like that was just kind of the stars aligning. They were saying, hey, like, I'm proud of you. Because, my original plan was I was supposed to be a pediatrician, so then it's like my life changed so much.
It can be kind of scary, just putting everything that you have out there, for people, and especially playing it live and like staring them in the face,
for sure,
saying these really raw and personal things. Like you take a leap of faith, into the music as a whole,
for sure.
And so that's a beautiful story. I really dig that.
Thank
so
you.
It really was, fate. You should be here in Wilmington.
right now.
Freaking now. Singles, a big one is your release Surface, which just kind of celebrated its year anniversary like a couple days ago. So I kind of want to take a minute because it's a beautiful song. Lyrically, I feel like it's one of those that kind of creeps into, your bones a little bit, and the melody sticks with you, hours after. I say that because I was humming it all day today. I really do love it. So I was actually just really curious about how that song kind of came to be and how its conception kind of came about. And
So I'm sure you guys are familiar with Cashed Out. So
Yeah.
I wrote that song with Greg and Nick of Cashed Out, and we were kind of sitting in the room together. And at that point, we had written 2 love songs. One was Show Me, and one was I Don't Care What You Do, I think, or something like that. And I was like, I don't really want to become the Taylor Swift of reggae. Like, I want to kind of start thinking about something else. And then I had written a song a while ago touching on the same topic. So I was like, can we write something along these lines? And we wrote the song, and my kind of goal with it was that things aren't always what they appear to be from the outside, and I feel like I've had like a lot of internal battles, especially with like self-esteem. It's something I still struggle with, but a lot of people don't see it. They're like, hey, you have this awesome, beautiful life, and don't get me wrong, my life is awesome and beautiful, but everybody has those days.
Absolutely.
And I think that musicians especially, and artists in general, but I think especially musicians, like, we need to like understand that we have this platform that not everybody has access to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe we should just put a little bit more thought in like what we're putting out there. And Surface, I'm not gonna lie, it's not one of the most popular songs that I have, but it's touched a lot of people, and I've heard their stories, and it's just really awesome because I wrote it in hopes that like people would start talking about their issues and realize that like, hey, maybe I should get help, or maybe I should check up on my friend.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you don't realize you need to do those things until something comes along and says,
you
hey,
need
you
something
should
to
do
spark
this.
it, to kind of open that part of your mind and like make you remember exactly what we're all here on this earth, and we're all trying to navigate it on our own way.
sure.
And like you said, music actually is so crucial in a lot, because you don't realize sometimes how far the reach of one song could go, and to use your words and really try to put something out there that might be vulnerable, might not be something that everyone wants to talk about, but it's something that everyone deals with in one way or another. And when people can sit there in their room and just kind of put themselves and relate to you, and there's just like this connection that forms,
For sure.
And you feel it when you're like playing live, but the music just carries so much farther. So I think it is important, and that's why it's really awesome in this kind of genre area, is a lot of the music is kind of message driven a little more.
For sure.
And we want to kind of branch out.
And that was the cool thing about writing it too, is because although reggae is very message driven, I mean that's the purpose of reggae, I feel like nobody really touches on like those hard parts.
Right.
Like they do talk about struggle and stuff like that, but I really wanted to get specific because especially like if you guys are in those groups on Facebook for every band, there's
absolutely.
people posting all the time that I'm feeling depressed, anxiety, this and that, and it's like I also make myself available too. Like if you want to talk to me and whatever, like let's talk about what's going on.
Right.
Like I try to check up on people as much as possible, because like you don't know like the impact you could have, like
Absolutely.
not even me
It
as
takes
Vana
one
Liya.
conversation.
Yeah,
It
just
takes
me as a
one
person,
song,
you
yeah.
as a person. Let's be people and let's help each other out.
You start to like peel back those layers, and really just sort of get to bond with people on really just such a deeper level than ever imagined. This world is vast and complicated and crazy, but it's also really beautiful and really cool. And so when we can kind of use those moments and provide kindness towards one extra person a day, the reach is really, it's a domino effect. And so I think that is cool. I like you.
I like you, yo.
Keep doing what you're doing. Let's say dream city or dream tour anywhere in the world. What would you like?
Oh my God.
What's on the list of bucket list for Vana Liya?
Touring wise, oh my God, I definitely think that one place I really want to play, it's not very like adventurous how I'm saying it, but I know a lot of musicians' goals is to like hit all 50 states. To play Alaska would be pretty cool, because I feel like people don't get to usually
That's
do
tough,
that.
and there's fans in Alaska. People listen.
They need the music too, yo.
It might be a little harder to get there. It might be a little cold or a little dark, but turn on some stage lights and
we'll make a
rock
little
out.
igloo. We'll hang out.
You know what? Let me know when Alaska, is on the map, and I will definitely make sure I'm there. That's a good answer.
I got you on a +1.
Oh yeah, girl. So I mean, you've been able to kind of explore. I mean, like I said, you're from New York, and now you're in North Carolina. Even that couple states it's a pretty big change. We look a little different, in this area, and we don't snow like you guys do up there. So. If do you have any like crazy stories or like funny stories, or even the most like proud moment like so far in kind of your travels?
I think just because you said it last, when you said the proud moment, something just kind of like sticked out in my head. The first time I ever went to Salt Lake City, Utah, first, like, I've never played that before. I was kind of like, I don't really know if people are gonna want to listen to me, and I don't know if they're watching, but Whitney and Kylie, I met them, and they literally were in the front, and they were singing the words to When It Feels Right. And that was the first time I had ever heard somebody sing the words to my songs, but it was cool because it was
crazy,
my first West Coast tour. I was like, holy crap. And I feel like that was like a moment that I was like, all right, I'm doing something right here.
Right.
You know?
That's kind of, you know, insane to think about, you know, some words that you wrote, you know, in a journal with friends or something at one point was going to reach someone hundreds of miles away.
For sure.
You know, and that's what I love about your songs. I mean, lyrically, they're so catchy, you know, and it really just kind of puts you in that, you know, summertime, you know, all year round kind of mood, in my opinion.
That's my attitude. Summertime all the time.
We're all party 365. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Now we're going to get a little, you know, we're in like round 2 of the Kaya interview. This is where it gets a little tough. Separates the weak, you know, from the strong. And I believe that you can handle it.
Now I'm nervous.
So, would you rather fight 1,000 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Full video game boss style.
1 horse-sized duck.
Yes, very, very big duck. Gotta think of the beak. I always gotta.
And this is just like straight on, like street style. I don't have a car.
Nope, Street Fighter, just all, you know.
Oh man, I feel like definitely like the big duck. Because,
really?
Well, because I feel like all the little horses would somehow like eat me alive.
They
like
start just like crawling.
They
start like crawling on each other and creating like a larger, you know. I see that.
I feel like maybe
I believe that they will start to come together. They're smarter.
And the big duck, I feel like I could maybe hide somewhere, but like his beak can't. I'm pretty small.
True.
So I feel like if I like get a good crevice going,
sneak in a little nook, then
because I don't like to fight either, you know. So I'm not trying to fight it and kill it. I'd rather just like sit.
No, it's all about, you know,
spot.
survival. You're trying to just outwit.
Yeah,
and
like
outlast.
Mr. Duck, I don't want to hurt you. Mr. Duck, please don't hurt me. You know.
That is genius. That is absolute genius, and that is so strategic. That is like my favorite answer that I've ever gotten for that question.
Well, probably not everybody's as small as me, I don't think.
Well, this is true, yeah, because usually when I ask like boys, they're like, oh yeah, we'll just pick the, you know, 1,000 horses because we'll just kick them all, like, because they're so small.
I know, but then you think about it,
but you're right, if they start like working together, that's a whole nother like league.
Dude, ants, do you know what they do as colonies?
Exactly.
Like, yo, you guys need to watch some like Planet Earth or something, like shit goes down.
You know what? You're not an amateur when it comes to this survival situation. All right, you're the one I want on my team because you're going to be leading us in the right direction. All right, another tough question, if not the most difficult question. Hard or soft tacos?
I knew it was going to be a taco question. I was like, taco questions are hard for me.
I have to do it. It's like in my Kaya contract.
Okay. I'm always usually, it depends. Like if I'm going fast food, always hard shell. But if it's like an actual restaurant, always soft shell.
Okay. I actually like that. No, that makes sense because it really does depend on the place or like who's making them.
Yeah, like
how
Taco
you
Bell,
kind of,
like,
you know,
I feel like those tortillas aren't like nice, but like if you get them from a real place and they cook it right, it's good. But I don't really, that's like more my preference, you know. I will go for a Dorito Loco taco every now and then.
You do, you know, add a little accent in there.
Exactly.
Every once in a while. Now, this is probably a harder question. I don't know, since what we were talking about earlier.
Here we go.
Tacos or Bojangles?
Oh man. Okay, now are these tacos from like a restaurant?
You get the best top tier tacos in your opinion versus Bojangles.
I love you Bojangles, but I love my tacos even more.
Yeah? Okay.
I think I don't know. It's just there's something about a taco that I'm just like, you've given me all the comfort I've ever wanted.
Yeah, don't fight it. No, you gotta follow your heart.
You just embrace it, you
Absolutely.
know, and like
taco is a way of life. I just haven't looked back in years.
It's funny because my keys player actually came up with this name. You know how everybody has like those Facebook groups? He made my group Vana Liya Tortillas. So if you guys are not in Vana Liya Tortillas, go join that.
You better be going right now. You can open another tab while this video is
There's a lot of taco talk.
Do this. No, we try to keep it irrelevant, you know, because it honestly is a big debate. Like, especially when I have bands, you know, of like 4 to, you know, 8 people. When you bring that question up, it surprises a lot of bands because they aren't expecting some of their members' answers. And like I've had some
I
people
feel
be
like
like,
that's when
whoa,
true colors come out, and then you're
whoa,
like, hey, should we even
whoa.
be in a band anymore?
Who have I been in a bus with for the past 3 weeks? What do you like?
Well, that's kind of how I felt. We got Bojangles this morning, and it was like the first time any of the guys have ever had it. I've had it before. So I bought it, and everybody's eating, they love it. And my guitar player's like, I don't like this. And I'm like, get out the band, bro. Like, I was like, everybody else likes it.
Oh, whoa.
Just kidding, he's still in the band. We're
Oh,
good.
yeah. We were going to find out at the show tonight, weren't we? All right. You are, and I am coining you this, but I feel like it is very true, the queen of dad jokes. It is the way that, you know, you kind of market people to come to your show, because to get people here to the Real Cafe, you had a little dad joke for them, because it's 10-10.
You're
So,
10 out of 10.
yeah, so, and you're like, if you want more dad jokes, come to the show. Since we're doing a little interview, I kind of want a little Kaya exclusive, maybe.
I got
so
you.
you think you could hook us up with some dad jokes for me?
I'm going to give you my best one. This is like the one that when I'm sad, I'll tell it to myself and I start laughing, and I'm like, this is a great day.
Pure.
So there's 2 windmills out in the field, right?
Right.
And one windmill asks the other windmill, what's your favorite type of music? And he goes, well, I'm a big metal fan. Right? I'm not gonna lie, when there's like technical difficulties during shows, I like don't know how to like do the banter. So like I always come out with that joke.
Open with that. I just would connect. So wow.
I was actually thinking about doing a thing where like every time I have a tour, like I tell one dad joke, and like that was a dad joke of the tour.
Right,
you
right,
know?
yeah. That's kind of, you know, what sets the tone for
Yeah.
what they're in for that, you know,
And I
particular
want it to
cycle.
be like a thing that like, you know, in 20 years they're like, what's the 20th dad joke? You
Right?
know, I want to know. I want to have this a thing.
Well, you know, the next time I see you, I'm most definitely going to expect, you know,
Got
another.
you.
I'm going to hold you to this, because
I'll
I'm
tell
a
one
big
on
fan.
stage today just for you.
Really? I'm so honored right now. Really? I've got the best job in the world. All
Well,
right.
you know what? Without people like you, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So if a dad jokes makes you happy, I'll tell the dad jokes.
Dad jokes forever. So I expect you to kind of have a, you know, exciting, you know, future ahead of you. The way you bursted onto the scene, so, you know, just like insanely quick, really, in the grand scheme of time.
For
you
sure.
know, the past 2 years, it's just like you went from your room to here, you know, and it's so incredible to kind of see that. And I really hope that momentum kind of carries on, because I know there's a lot of people around that are, you know, big fans of you, and I know there's a lot of people here, you know, in Wilmington tonight who are really excited and been looking forward to it. So what kind of things could you give the Kaya fam, you know, to look forward to in the upcoming year for Vana Liya?
So I know one of the biggest things is everybody's looking for some new music. So there
That
might
is
be
always
some
sometimes
stuff going
a question.
on. Yeah, you know,
You know?
we'll see what's up with that. But another thing is I made my way on to AZ Roots, so I'll be playing that in February. I'm really stoked
Heck
about
yeah.
that. That's pretty much it for now, you know? Like, I like to just kind of come out with a bang,
Right.
you know, and just kind of get you out of nowhere.
You know, and the best way to do that is social media,
Social
keeping
media
people
is
connected when they aren't able to make a show. You get to see live videos. You get to see different promo stuff. Anytime you get to have a new song or whatever you want to surprise drop it, it's to the world, you know, in a second. So I want to keep all of the Kaya fans connected to anything and everything Vana Liya music. Shout out everywhere that they should go, everything that they should follow. Obviously, the fan page. So let them know.
So on all the socials, I am Vana Liya Music, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, but like whatever, we could be friends on it.
Yeah, right. Just give it a follow. Why
Yeah,
not?
VanaLiyaMusic.com. And actually, if you guys join the Vana Liya Tortillas group page on Facebook, I do monthly giveaways where like I make handmade stuff. All you really have to do is sign up for the newsletter, and bam, you could get something really cool.
There is nothing better than free stuff, especially by an artist that you really love. And your merch table is actually really sick.
Thank you.
It is all stuff that you said that you kind of, you know, make, and it supplements, you know, the artistic, you know, music side of you with the, you know, artsy side of you. So what
sure.
kind of stuff do you have available for those of you who make it out to a Vana Liya show?
Word. So I do rolling trays that I hand paint. I do like jewelry, and I do incense burners. I actually have this new item that I'm really stoked about. I made this thing called the Positivity Cube. So it's a 6-sided cube, and every day the goal is to just like roll it. It has like a goal on it. So like it says like be passionate, like have no limits, like things like that. So you're supposed to roll it every day, and every morning it's like that's going to be my attitude for the day. So, connecting people with merch as well, but I like to hand make stuff, so you guys get a little bit of me in what you got, and it's a one-of-a-kind thing, so it's like no one will ever have what you have.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. I mean, merch is such a great way, obviously, to help make you money, to be able to continue touring, but to express yourself, just like you're saying. So that's awesome. The most unique, merch table items, that, usually come by my eyes. So I definitely recommend stopping by and showing some love to our girl. We appreciate every single person at the Kaya that watch these videos. Subscribe to the YouTube. We've got new episodes of Bridging the Gap with people like wonderful Vana Liya here, and we've got new episodes for you every week. So please stay tuned for everything that you got going on.
Please
follow everything. We're going to put all the links and everything you need to follow in the description below. Kaya fam, I love you. Vanna, thank you.
I feel like we should end with a nice crisp high five.
Can we do it?
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was freaking awesome. We have to end there because there's no way to even top the way that
Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Kaya out.
Let me think now, hold on. Alright, this might take you a second to get. What is the Colonel? Where does the Colonel store his armies? Where does he keep his armies? In his sleevesies. Get it? His arms are in his sleeves, in his sleevesies? Yeah, there's a reason why I don't do stand-up comedy, guys. Okay.